Ever come to my house again, I'll never let you get married to my father.
I don't need your permission, you know. Well, why don't you try and stop your father from remarrying? Let's see what happens. I think you're wasting your time, though.
She didn't look intimidated by me at all. That made me feel a little intimidated in return.
Why was she so confident of her absolute control over my father? She had to have more than confidence to be able to act as fearless as this. She must have something tangible. Though I asked her what it was, she told me herself. I'm pregnant.
You're lying!
I'm not lying. It's true.
It's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a big lie, Osana!
Man, Rena, you really are the character that has that in your vocabulary a lot. Come to think of it, it was in Higurashi that had that big moment with Rena, isn't it? And this is the answer arc.
Usura.
Then it's got it differently worded. That's obviously a kanji character used for lies, then. Sujinai, blah 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 blah, blah blah blah. What would that one be? I know, like, another way of saying it's a lie or something like that. Wait, no, I think it's for liar, actually, a Sutsuki. Let's see the log. I would have put more emphasis in it, if not for the fact that I have one hell of a splitting headache. Oh wait, that's probably what those kanji characters are for. It's just to say that's a big lie. She just divorced because she got pregnant. She has to get married because she got pregnant. That's a lie. That's a big lie.
I've got a headache.
I'm a Christian, so I can't get an abortion. You'll just have to accept it. Plus we had sex with marriage in mind. He made me pregnant. If he changes his mind and takes no responsibility, it's gonna be a big mess, you know. That doesn't make sense to me. It's like, you're a Christian, so you can't get an abortion. I know there are some branches of Christianity like that, but you're kind of vaguely saying there. Isn't it Catholics that are anti-abortion, isn't it? I know, I'm not really all that well versed in religion and stuff. Let's see. Christian. I can see that. That's in katakana. Non-Japanese words, you know. Kurisu. Chi, but with that chan. Christian. So that's how that kind of works. I just thought it was gonna say, like, in Japanese and be like, oh, she's a Catholic, so yeah. But no, just go with the even more vaguer line of Christian that has multiple branches often. My head, it really do. Splitting headache. Suppose it's a migraine rather than a headache. Just suddenly came on and it's like, oh, my head, oh.
It was your plan, wasn't it? I overheard it. I heard the conversation you had with that man, Tetchan, at the coffee house. I know you started seeing my father for his money. I know you call him your husband and bizarre. I know he's just a big catch for you. I know everything because I heard it from Kasai-san. I know you do badger games too.
Oh, you knew. Well. Before I knew it, Rena was standing right in front of me. We glared at each other with our faces almost touching. So, Rena-chan, you know everything. Now what are you thinking you're going to do? You know, this image right here represents how my head feels. He's like, oh.
Don't come near my father ever again.
What if I refuse? You wanted to talk to me at your secret hideout, right? I kind of knew what you wanted to talk to me about. You brought me to your secret hideout, where nobody knows and nobody can hear us, right?
Yeah, you're right. Nobody knows about this place. Nobody can hear us here. Nobody comes here because it's a place forgotten.
Maybe it was I don't know. I found it was an odd wording with the way it's like place forgotten rather than forgotten place, but I guess it's kind of there, I guess. Our faces were so close to each other that our noses could almost touch. The noses that, as you can see in anime art style, is kind of almost non-existent unless you view it from the side. I knew what I was talking about, but I didn't know what would happen next. I couldn't back down now that I'd come to this point, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I should do.
Go on, let's not do this. Let's be friends again.
Rena started laughing and slapped me on the back. My expression didn't change and I kept staring at Rena, but I didn't notice her real intention of putting both her arms around my neck. The tension broke as she tries to break you. Ori stretched thin and Rena squeezed my neck hard. I was openly hostile, but I didn't realize Rena's evil intentions until she started choking me. Wait, is she gonna try to kill Rena because she's like, you won't get in the way of my big catch? I mean, that is a whole other level of twisted. Oh, that's a real ugly face there. You little brat. So close to getting millions of yen. If you at least pretend to get along with me, I would have given you a good allowance. You just can't keep your fucking mouth shut, can you? You got some fucking nerve. Brat like you should die. Tried to pry her hands off my neck, but I didn't have the strength to do so. She is a monster. But we gotta see how she said that in Japanese. Usogake. Yeah, she says that a lot. She's obviously like, maybe that's her way of saying brat. Like, you damn brat. I saw it was something along those lines, I guess. I was gonna go shine, but that's shini? I don't know. But it's usually pronounced she, that kanji character for death, essentially. I didn't want to kill you, but I'll probably never get as big a catch as your father again, so I don't mind killing you for millions of yen. I was going to disappear after I got that money anyway. It's what you get for talking back to me. Jesus Christ, lady, that's a bit much. I mean, you were already a bitch, but now you've just gone, like, straight up psychopath. The world around me got darker and darker, and redder. I had never known an evil intention like this, namely the intention to kill me. It didn't scare me, though, even though you've been strangled. That's because being scared is a feeling that people use to express how they feel when they see wildfire on the other side of a river. People on the island with the wildfire with their deaths right in front of them, they don't get scared. If I loosened my grip on my hands even a little bit, she'd crush my throat. This was a simple competition to see who was stronger. Rina wanted to get into the most adventurous position, so she tried to push me down to the ground, so that she could mount me. If I let her do that, I wouldn't stand a chance. I tried to keep my current position, but I was losing a lot of energy by being choked. It was only a matter of time before Rena could push me down. I lost my balance on purpose. I tried to fall backwards in order to pull her off balance. I couldn't hold my breath long enough to keep up that strength compensation. So I had no choice but to take that chance. We fell on the ground tangled together. But as Rena was strongly determined to kill me, she didn't even take her hands away from my neck after she fell. However, my actions made Rena loosen her grip on my fruits. It wasn't loose enough for me to break free from her grip, but it gave me a few moments to use my hands for something other than stopping her from crushing my fruits. If I hadn't taken the chance, I would have been done for. That's why I tried to literally seize my chance. I moved both my hands on the ground to seize that chance. I felt a piece of broken glass on my right hand. That was truly my chance to literally save myself from the brink of death. I cut Rena's wrist deep with a piece of glass. Ooh! Man, the way I did that made that voice. It's a horror sound effect in a game. I can't remember what game it is though. I've definitely heard it before though. Going, I can't think what game it's from. Any of yours now? Any of you, like, 1 or 2 people who watch this? Can't remember where it's from. Rena tried to endure the pain for a few seconds, but pain that severe from someone so cornered soon broke her will. She let go of my throat to cling to her bloody wrist. I used that moment to roll away from her. It fucking hurts! She screamed both in pain and also to try and intimidate me again. It didn't work anymore though. Intimidation only works on the opponent when the opponent is hesitant to fight. When you're already in a fight, screaming like that means nothing more than letting the opponent know how badly you're hurt. Well then, explain this, Rena. Why is it that a Gyarados, when put into battle, will usually intimidate its foe and lower its attack? Does that indicate that the Gyarados is actually hurt and is not really as prepared for battle? Or rather, the opponent is still ready for battle? What kind of stupid comparison is that? This is a serious scene. I no longer had any hesitation. I had learned from Rena. She taught me what I have to do in a situation like this. That's right, this is my secret hideout. I know every single piece of junk in here. Maybe I knew that a day like this was coming. Or was it just coincidence that it was there? I had pulled out a meter-long lead pipe, not at all surprised to see it there. I raised it up high and brought it back down. There was no way Rena could block this hard and heavy lead pipe with just her arms. She'd probably try to block it with the palms of her hands in order to take it from me, but her long nails wouldn't let that happen. Unable to catch it that way she wanted, she broke her fingers and some of her nails came off too. Ooh! Her scream made me realize I had the advantage. An advantage I would have to keep. If I didn't, she'd turn the tables just like I did, and then she'd choke me to death for sure. Stop! Stop it! Wait! Rena shielded her head with her arms, but it didn't help. All that would change is that I'd break her arms before I broke her face. I'm serious, stop it right now! I'm serious too. Die, 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 you should die. Yeah, that's right. I should have done this a long time ago. I didn't need proof. I didn't have to talk to anybody. That's stupid, that's nonsense. I should have done this a long time ago. I had done it a long time ago. My father wouldn't have been deceived. I could have protected him. I could have protected my family. I could have protected my life. I could have been myself. My mother wouldn't have divorced my father. I could have stayed happy. Rena, I mean, you're already off the deep end here, but is she trying to think just like, yeah, if she only had killed Akihito, or whatever that guy's name was, then all would have been well? Because that does not really happen like that. I could have stayed happy. I would have had to. Wouldn't have had to have been unhappy. I'm going to recapture my happiness. Just remember that I'm going to win back my happiness. I'm not going to cry for misfortune. I'm not going to give in to fate of unhappiness. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to seize my happiness right now with my own two hands.
Has a bit of shades of Tsumihoroboshi, this arc as well, doesn't it? Despite the fact that it's the answer to Onikakushi, it has a bit of a kind of blend of arcs. Sure, it's got Onikakushi vibes, but it's also got Tsumihoroboshi vibes as well. Rina tried to run away from me, but she no longer had the use of her hands. And it's even more fitting when you really think about the people, really, isn't it? Yeah. Without spoiling too much of Tsumihoroboshi, just kind of like, yeah, maybe you get what I'm talking about if you saw that. It made it difficult for her to stand up to escape, especially since there were scraps of junk everywhere on the ground. How is she not dead? After all, this is my hideout. This is my territory. Nobody can run away from me here. She tried to climb up the slope of garbage, slipped, fell, and rolled all the way back down. She didn't stand up or move. Her eyes were open and her neck was bent at an unnatural angle. I didn't know how to make sure she was dead, so I kept looking at her open eyes for a while. She could be faking it for all I know. Yeah, her neck twisted like a full 180. Yeah, she's totally faking that shit. But she didn't close her eyes no matter how long I waited. I scooped up a handful of sand and threw it on her face. She still didn't close her eyes. The lead pipe slipped out of my hand and hit the ground. When I tried to pick it up, I realized how heavy it was, and I was surprised that I was wielding it as though it was a knife. I was sweating all over. The cold wind felt good on my skin. The cries of Higurashi were calming me down and healing my soul. Rena was just like a broken dummy now. She had become a piece of junk. I am the owner of this land of junk, and I've defended it from her intrusion. Now she was a resident of this junkyard. I didn't feel bad about killing her. In fact, I felt rather fulfilled that I defeated the evil woman who had deceived my father. I mean, to be fair, Rena did act in self-defense. Rena struck first. I think Rena did get a bit kill-crazy towards the end there, you know? She kind of went a bit overboard. And, yeah. I started breathing slowly and calmly, and I regained enough energy to analyze the situation. I'd have to hide her body. Just had to get rid of her scooter. I climbed up the slope and kicked her scooter down the hill. Just like, well, that's one job done. It rolled down the slope, making a lot of noise and blended in with all the junk as it stopped, like it was there from the beginning. I went back down the slope and started dragging her body to my hideout. It should have taken as much effort as dragging a 50-kilogram sandbag, but it felt lighter than that. It was just a sandbag, yet it brought disaster to my family. I didn't lure her here in order to kill her. Or did I? Maybe I just didn't notice that I had that intention deep down in my heart. But even so, I felt like this was the best and most expedient solution. I mean, it's Higurashi, for crying out loud. It was inevitable that it would come to this. There was no better solution than killing her. How wasteful to depend on someone to help me, to wait for the day to come when they will. Again, shades of Tsumihoroboshi. I remembered the murder of Satoshi-kun's aunt that happened last year. I know that the Satoshi-kun murdered her, but I've never been as convinced as I am right now at this very moment. How could he have saved Satoshi-chan other than by killing his aunt last year, at that time, in that circumstance? My situation was much the same as his. How could I have saved my father other than by killing her? If I was planning on murder, I would have been under a lot of pressure and stress. But for better or for worse, the moment came to me out of nowhere. That's why I believe I solved my problem with as little trouble as possible. Well, now you got an even bigger problem, Rena. Now that she's gone, will anyone become suspicious about her disappearance? She was an irresponsible person who skipped work at her own convenience. So I didn't think anybody would get suspicious when she disappeared one day. Aren't you forgetting something, Rena? She was a big mess from the start. People think she went into hiding because she got into deep trouble with someone. I didn't need to fabricate an alibi. And it's like, well, this is like a spoiler for Tsumihoroboshi,
but it isn't at the same time, because it literally happens right in the first scene you see in Higurashi, and it's kind of out of context because you don't get a context till later on. So it is kind of a spoiler. So here's what I'll do. Mouse right here. I'll move it when I'm done rambling about spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, mute the audio in 3, 2. Wait, actually, first explain. When I move the cursor again, that's when no spoilers. Just to be when I'm showing this right. So spoilers in 3, 2, 1, 0. That woman that was killed at the start of Higurashi was clearly Rina, because later on it's revealed that the only reason that Teppei returned to Hinamizawa is because his lover in wherever they were was killed, and he got in with some bad people and was like, oh shit, I gotta lay low. So she did technically make an appearance, sort of, in Higurashi, but she was kind of dead. And she wasn't exactly disposed of in the most, what's the words I'm looking for, I can't think of the words, I just can't think of the words. Well, you probably get the idea. It wasn't the most, I just can't think of a freaking word for it. Essentially, she was disposed of, and she's, this isn't her first time dying in the series, is it? But, yeah. Spoilers over. I didn't need to fabricate an alibi. All I needed to do was get rid of her body. Took me a while to figure out how to do that last part. Hiding her body would be very risky, but my brain had become so calm that it did some calculations and came up with an answer right away. Yes, this place is still the safest. Still a place forgotten. Nobody comes here. Nobody knows this place is here. I knew that because I'd been spending a lot of time here. Compared to taking the risk of carrying her body to some other place, it was a lot safer to just hide it here. But it wasn't perfect yet. The place wouldn't remain a secret forever. I could hide it here for now, but I'd have to come up with the perfect way to make it completely disappear. So what easier to think about that than thinking about how to make Rena break up with my father. I stuffed her corpse into a broken refrigerator in a trash pile. I went to the covered refrigerator with dirt and buried it. But that was too easy. I had to chop the corpse into pieces and make them completely disappear. It's just like spoilers. It really is. Was there a similar thing in Higurashi as well, that kind of thing? It's amazing just how much they escalate. Yes, like, as soon as they, Rena killed her, she's already got into that mindset. It's like, I suppose I'll have to chop up her body, chop off her limbs. Kind of ironic considering the whole, start of the curse thing with the dam conflict. Just, had body parts chopped up individually and just okay, all of you guys are involved in this, so you take a part and blah. Just, escalated quickly, didn't it? I felt like it got dark all of a sudden. Yeah, both in more than one sense there, Rena. No, it didn't get dark all of a sudden. I just didn't realize how dark it was, the plot. It was getting dark until just then. I hear thunder from a distance. It might rain soon. I could use some rain. It washed Rena's dirty blood into the ground. I should go home. I should think about what I'd do tomorrow. I was going to stay right beside my father until he forgets about her. He might be hurt at first, but we're going to recapture our happiness for sure. Our happy, peaceful life. My body was heavy with exhaustion, but I also felt fulfilled because I took a very important first step today. I'll keep taking one step after another. I'm not going to cry anymore. I'm not going to cry until I win back my happiness. I'm not going to cry again. Higurashi when they cry. But with it crossed out because she won't cry. Kai! Oh, still going on. You don't need to get remarried. That was the first thing I said after I got home. My father looked stunned. He noticed the sad tone in my voice and realized that I didn't agree with the idea of his remarriage. He looked down. I understand. I know how you feel, Rena. I should have talked about it with you first, and...
That woman's lying to you about her pregnancy.
Don't talk like that. Rina-san is...
I'll tell you the truth. A woman and a guy called Tetchan are a team of bad people. She went out with you only because she was trying to get our money.
My father didn't get it right away. Of course, he looked upset instead because I called her that woman. I should have chosen my words a little more carefully, but I think I told him the truth clearly enough. Told him everything I heard and saw at the coffee house. As I expected, he defended Rena anyway. I was upset, but at the same time it made me certain that there was no other way than to kill her. I felt the pressure on my shoulders lessen for some reason. My father thought he needed my approval for his remarriage, so he held back his anger and put a fake smile on his face instead. Hey, Rena, let's sit down with a cup of tea and talk. I'm sure you'll understand once you hear me out. A tamed animal is still tamed, even after the owner is dead. That's okay. I'll open the gate anyway. Even a tamed animal will notice one day that he's no longer in captivity. That's not something that I could teach him. He had to realize it on his own. I couldn't stand his fake smile anymore, so I left the living room. Time healed the pain from the divorce. Time heals any kind of pain, just like how dripping water will eventually bore a hole through solid rock. I did what I could do. Now I'd have to wait. But the day I was going to wait for came earlier than I expected. At midnight of the following day, we had a visitor. And guess what? It's a cliffhanger. I think my aunt's outside my door with a vacuum cleaner. Random. But yeah, cliffhanger. So, it's kind of obvious where this is leading. But cliffhanger nonetheless. So we'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.